Welcome back to the Rob Savage podcast, man. We're in the year 2025. I'm getting blessed with our first interview of the year, Miss Indya Perry. Boom, boom. What's up now?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Good to see you.
It's good to see you too. Long time no see.
Most definitely. It's always good to have somebody, from the city. Indya went to high school with me. She's a little younger than me, but she's still stepping like she big dog. You know what I mean?
Because I am.
Oh,
But you know.
yeah, he is. She already spicy.
Yeah.
But she's a jack of all trades. She's an author, model, mother, you know what I mean? She's a staple in the city. So we're gonna dive into this. Indya, I wanna talk about your book first. But before I say that,
Okay.
the tone of this interview is gonna be called trauma.
Okay.
And I just wanna dive into that just because of, we're in a time where a lot of mental health issues is going on in the world and people going through things in silence. But yourself, being a survivor of a lot of things, we'll get to that. I want to start with that and let everybody know about your name of your book too.
My book. This is actually not the copy, but this is a proof. It's called Echoes of Love, Lessons of Loss. It is a poetry journal. So it's 22 poems, 22 introductions, and each poem has like 5 questions, 5 journaling questions. Which I'll let you look at it.
Okay.
So you get 5 journaling questions in order to assist with the healing.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this book can be triggering. It can definitely be triggering. Even starting off, it starts off really strong with a very, very deep poem. It starts off with a poem about suicidal thoughts, but I did something different. I ended up writing this book because I feel like when you are a healer, you heal yourself, and that's what assists with healing others.
Okay.
So my poems are healing for me, and I was really big on journaling, and that's what helped me. Writing, journaling kind of helped me understand the different parts of me on top of therapy.
Okay.
So once I did that, then I was like, one day God was like, yeah, you need to do this.
Right.
I was like, oh, I'm not gonna put out my poems. It's for me.
Well, okay. I mean,
it's for me, but
that's good. I mean, how did you build up the strength to want to go ahead and put that out there? Like, having a poem is one thing, but really want to get this whole book published based off that and off your trauma. How did you really overcome that? For the people who might want to have a tell-all book about some things in their life, don't know how to get started.
Got you. First, you have to have the right people around you that you are open with and you can be transparent with, and they don't use that against you.
Okay.
And they allow you to see that that's really something that's a strength, because everything I've been through, you'll never know. I don't wear it.
Okay.
You'll never know. So from there, like, I feel like, let me see if I can answer this properly. So in order for, when I started doing the book, and I had a person that was literally like, no, you need to do this. You need to do this. Because I would read my poems. I got comfortable with reading my poems to a select few, basically about 2 people.
Okay.
And I was like, I think I really want to put this out. I had a fire, and I had a whole lot of poems from high school all the way up until I was of age, and everything burnt up. And I felt like, darn, I lost everything, including my poems. So I stopped writing for like almost a year, and I started back.
Okay.
And I started noticing that it was healing, and I was doing a podcast, still doing a podcast, and my podcast was mostly about healing.
Okay.
And talking about traumas and a lot of other things. So from there, I was just like, you know what, I need to put this in a book. I do listen to some people too, like 19 Keys.
I'll put your book right here.
No, you're good. 19 Keys. Definitely was like, you gotta have a book is the best way to go, because it's good for another source of income, but also it's leaving something for others to know about you.
Right.
But I do believe that we were placed here, like our purpose is to add value to others' lives.
Okay.
So I ended up doing that as well. So that's why I ended up just putting out my book, because I'm big on helping others any way I can. But I started figuring out I'm wearing myself thin, like listening to everybody, being a therapist for free. Like, you wouldn't believe how many people would just call me and just talk to me. I was Ubering and I'll get people in the car. Like I've had women who were running from men and I'm picking them up and I'm telling them how to get away from it because I've been there. And I'm like, God, I'm wearing myself thin. Like, I can't do this. This is draining. So that's when I was like, you know what? Just do it.
Right.
So I just did it. I didn't even tell people. I was just like, yeah, oh, I got a book coming out. And I'm like, hold on, what?
Right.
Yeah.
But so many people need that.
Did I answer your question?
You did.
Okay.
You did. I mean, in that book, for people who might be in a potential, like you said, run away from a certain situation, it takes away you having to have it on your heart so much because you can just offer the book and they have something to talk about. Other than you just taking on in everybody's problem. And trust me, I know what you mean by that. Especially in the field I'm in now. I'm seeing some things I never thought people go on to. But you mentioned you have a podcast. I want to make sure we shout that out. Let everybody know what you got. What's the name of your podcast?
Surface Level Conversations. It is on YouTube and IG. It is hard to find because it's actually under Bosses and Brunches. Listen, you're going to ask me about that. I started off with Indy's experience, went from that to Bosses and Brunches. Put Bosses and Brunches on a pause because it wasn't going how I thought it was going to go.
Okay.
And then I just started using that YouTube channel for Surface Level Conversations, which I'm thinking about changing the name of it because none of my conversations are surface level.
I got you. Okay.
Can you go ahead and share a poem that you wanted to share with us? And then we can kind of dive deeper into.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, on the spot.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Huh. I'm gonna do the shadow pulse. I'm just gonna read the poem. I won't read the introduction. So it's called the shadow pulse, and I'm just gonna go into it. So, yeah, this is my first time reading poems, so y'all gotta give me some time because they put me on the spot.
Good.
And I'm gonna try to do the emotions, but I'm probably just gonna read it. So it is called the shadow pulse.
Okay.
Okay. Tick, tick, tick. A faint rhythm in my chest. A pulse of secrets I bury beneath my best. Tick, tick, tick. The shadows canvas. A whisper hymn of anger, fear, and Candace. Boom, the rupture. The rawness, the flood. Veins pulsing with fire boiling my blood. The darkness creeps in like a silent tide, no longer content to merely hide. It rises, it roars, it demands its place, taking form in my voice, my fist, my face. My words jag, knives tear the air apart, cutting through their ego, spelling out my dark art. Why, I wonder, do they push me here? Where my shadow self is loud and clear. I've worked so hard to build a new me, yet here I am caught in this old debris. Red stains my vision, my balance, my grace, as the shadow paints chaos on every face. But anger is only one shade of its hue. There's a deeper palette it uses too. Depression like fog obscure my sight, dimming the sun, turning day into night. Insecurity whispers, lies to my ear, that I'm unworthy, unlovable, a vessel of fear. Doubt like a thief steals my steady ground, leaving me lost, my sense of self unbound. Confusion, the cruelest jest of all, leaves me searching for meaning, only to fall. Tick, 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 the rhythm continues. An endless melody of hidden venues. I preach to others, embrace your scars, but avoided my own, left them behind bars. I praise their joy, their light, their grace, but in the mirror I hated my face. My shadow is a paradox, cruel and kind, a mirror reflecting the fragments of my mind. It is the fear that freezes and the fire that burns, the silent sorrow and lessons unlearned. It holds my native, my wounds, my grief, my aching need for solace and belief. Yet perhaps this darkness is my light, a, dying, a dynamite charge to ignite my fight. For how can I ascend, reach higher planes, if I don't face the shadow, teeter in my chains? How can I rise if I don't dive deep, unraveling the secrets my soul keeps? Tick, tick, tick. The rhythm is mine, a metronome guiding me divine. Boom, the explosion, the breaking apart. But this time I hold it, cradle my heart. I chase the shadow, not to bury or hide, but to hold it close, let it walk by my side. In its darkness, I find the seed of light, a power to grow, to ascend, to fight. It's ugly, it's raw, but it's beautifully true. The shadow self is a part of me and you too. Tick, tick, tick. My shadow sings, a haunting tune of becoming, of wings. Boom, dynamite, but not for destruction. A spark of creation, my soul's reconstruction. Tick, tick, tick. The rhythm now flows. A harmony guiding where my spirit grows.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was odd. That was basically like, I'd look at it in a shorter form. The roads that come out the concrete, like, you're not what your past was. Wow.
I want to know why did you choose that poem to read to us today?
Tick, tick.
Tick. So a lot of times when people are healing, they forget to heal a portion of them that they hide, which is their shadow self, the ugliest part of you, the part of you that you don't want anyone to know about, the part of you that when you're by yourself, you have to face it. So a lot of times, a lot of people don't even like to be by themselves. So it's the part of you that you may have even forgotten because you just pushed it back. And then what happens is you become triggered. And when you get triggered by something, you'll try to be like, you know what, I'm not going to let this show. And you'll just keep going and you'll just keep on getting triggered. And you'll become like a ticking time bomb. And then, boom, it just comes out. And now you've done different things that you may not be proud of, or probably even hurt people with words, some people with actions. And I just feel like you have to heal that part, not hide it. Because when you bring your shadow self to light, then it's healing. So once it's healing, then you're able to bring balance to your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I use that one.
I also want to ask, do you feel like you shared your shadow self in that poetry room?
I
You
did.
kind of like exposed it, and that's why it created this healing experience for you?
Yep. So this poetry book, if you do buy it, you will learn a lot about me because these were poems from things that I went through in the past and presently. So I lost myself a lot. Even when I told y'all, I think one of them, the first one is about suicidal thoughts. I have tried to commit suicide because of a bad relationship I was in for 9 years. I feel like I couldn't get out of it. And the only way I could get out of it and the only way that I could protect my kids is if I left. So, yeah. So you'll learn a lot. Things that I was ashamed of, but it made me who I am today. I'm like unbreakable. I'm a force to be reckoned with.
That's deep. I want to, since and thank you, Candace, for that. That was to open it up. I want to kind of dive into that about, I started this off saying trauma. And like, for our viewers, man, who might be going through a certain situation, wherever it is, like, kind of give a base of your story of how you survived your most, what's the word? The situation that happened with you that really had you like, you know what, I gotta do something different. Even if going to the point of view of the suicidal part, like what led up to this?
In my life, I've been through a lot. I won't go deep, but I have been raped 3 times. I was molested at the age of 7 on up until what I can remember. And I tend to I guess, attract people who were not the best. When I say people, I can say men. And that was like, okay. Like I could find myself like veering away from them. But then I just was like, you know what? Let me try. And the relationships were long and they weren't the best. So I got to a relationship and it started out great. It was amazing. He love bombed me. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But
That's some real things.
yeah, it is. So he love bombed me, but he love bombed me for like 2 or 3 years. And I can remember like the first day he ever put his hands on me, he thought that I was attempting to take my son and our son trick-or-treating with my son's father. Remind you, that wasn't the case, but he was like, he wanted to stay at home. Long story short, I was trying to find my son because I was like, I'm going to take the trick-or-treating. I don't care what you say. Like, if you want y'all to stay home, that's fine, but he wants to go.
Right.
So I was getting him dressed and I was in the closet and both of my sons was right there. And he just came to me and like punched me in my face. And I was like, I was taken aback, like, huh?
Wow. What? This guy, so same age as you or older?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it just took me back and all I could do, like I cried silently, but I always try not to cry in front of my kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at them and I was like, this ain't okay. Like,
And they saw it?
They saw it. Yeah, they were standing back there. They were younger. So needless to say, keep going. Everything kept progressing. I ended up getting pregnant. I had a child. Before I had that child, I had a baby loss at 5 months. Had the loss, and I actually had to carry pieces of my deceased baby in me for a while, for a week, because for some reason I couldn't get an emergency surgery to get. So, needless to say, that kind of took a toll on me. And as I was going through that, he would just drop me off at the hospital and leave me. So he wasn't there. So I was like, okay.
Did you ever have that conversation with him? Like, what's going on? Was he mad about the baby passing, or he
blamed it on me, but he was doing things towards me. And the stress levels and stuff caused it. So keep going past that. It just got really bad.
Okay.
To a point to where I ended up with a fractured eye, fractured ribs, a fractured ankle. It was a lot of things that I kept away from my family. Like, I would not talk to anybody. Like, I would not talk to nobody. Like, I didn't have anybody besides him. And it was because he told me he was the one that loved me. He was the one that cared. So he built me up and broke me down. Okay. So he built me up to trust him, and then he broke me down. And when I got pregnant again, he told me, like, no one will ever want you. If a man wants you, then it's going to be for one thing, and if he do go past that, then he's gonna do you worse than me. He's gonna end up killing you. I love you. I get mad, and that's how I put my hands on you. And I started to believe those things. And every time I tried to leave him, every single time, it would get worse. Like, he would, it was times where I would leave him and I just wouldn't talk to nobody. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to date somebody. And I tried to date him because he was gone for 2 months. He hacked into my security cameras, took pictures of the man's car, sent it to him, was like, I'm gonna get you, ran him off. So from there, he still left. Yeah.
I gotta dive in. Really, I say that because I'm over real stuff with my mom. So it ain't funny, but it's like, but anyway, I'm gonna say this. What's his background? I mean, as in, did he come with both parents, something like that? Is it a single situation? Or was he
had his mom, but I mean, of course, his brother was in the streets. His brother in the streets raised him, type of thing. But his mom, I mean, I still love her to this day. So I can't really say, like, his dad. He told me he's seen his mom get beat on, but who knows? I'm gonna say this because as I'm telling this, I'm not the type of person who down anybody. He probably was going through some things. He is currently incarcerated because he did almost.
Well, we get to that point. So I had to ask that question just because of it's not.
This ain't no normal.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And you gotta understand something. Being a black man, the stigma that's out there, like niggas just want to beat on motherfuckers. Like I'm just trying to explain that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, it's not normal.
You know, it's coming from some kind of past trauma that he had, and he just let it out on you. You know what I mean? And that's messed up. But it's not excusing it. But that narrative about that we just naturally want to beat on, that's not.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, but continue on that.
Okay, so basically from there, it was a time where I had to start Ubering and I was working in sales, but I was doing everything by myself. So I needed money from everywhere. And his mom would keep the kids. Well, this is leading up to my suicidal attempt. So basically, it was just a point to where he called his mom, was like, you can't watch them no more. If you watch them, I'm going to terrorize you. Like, he was terrorizing his mom.
It's all mom.
So, yeah. So from there, she had ended up calling me one day, and I was about to go home, and I needed to Uber for some extra money. And he had left, and I'm like, I got all of this on me. And I was having like the most messed up day because he was just calling me, and he was just like at me.
Yeah.
And I was already at a breaking point, but this brought me to my complete breaking point. And she was like, I can't watch them no more. I don't know what you're going to do. You're going to figure out something. I'm like, I ain't got nobody. Like, I need you. So he called me. He's like, yeah, so you ain't got nobody. I hope you lose everything. And I'm just sitting here like, this man will not. And I started calculating stuff. I'm like, okay. My family got life insurance on me, my kids are beneficiaries, I got life insurance. Like, I'm calculating
really
everything
calculating
in my mind. Like, this man, he won't leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to end up continuously being by myself. I'm going to struggle. He's going to terrorize me. I'm at fear anyways. Either he going to kill me or I'm going to, something's going to happen. And my kids are going to live in this bad situation forever as long as I'm here. Mm-hmm. And I just started calculating stuff in my mind. And I went to Walgreens and I was like, what medicine could I take? And I Googled it. That I could die from it. And no one will ask me why I'm buying so much of it. Mm-hmm. Benadryl. Mm-hmm. So I went, I got me some Benadryl, I got me some Sprite. I was like, listen, I got me some Sprite and some Benadryl. And I went and I was like, yeah, I need 2 boxes of those. She was like, okay, no problem. Okay, right. Thanks. Whatever. Not knowing I'm going to take all of this.
And all that's nasty for you. They ain't ask no questions. That's correct.
They didn't ask no questions. I was just like, yeah. And it was like the big boxes of Benadryl, okay, y'all? So it was like, yeah, I need 2 boxes of those. And she was like, okay, great. Whatever. Like, are you okay? Yeah.
It's 3-6 Mafia now? They thinking,
right. So I went to go. I got that, and I went to my house. I had text everybody. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I texted everybody. I was like, I love y'all. It was like, I love y'all. And then I started taking the medicine. Like, I'm talking, popping them out, taking them. And all I know is I woke up in the hospital. Pissed. I was pissed off in the hospital.
So you just you taking it and you just knocked out and then woke up in the hospital?
Woke up in the hospital. And the doctor was like, how much did you take? And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm out of it and my body is burning. Mm-hmm. I would tell people, don't do it. My body, I was on fire. And they was like, because the amount of Benadryl I took, I should have died, but I did. Mm-hmm. That was a breaking point for me. Because God was like, not today. Right. Not today. And they put me in this darn hospital. And when I tell y'all, I ain't never been to jail, but I think it was worse. Because it was a room. I only had a bed. I didn't have a remote. I didn't have a cell phone. Yeah. They gave me a spoon. I was like, yo.
So on suicide watch.
Yeah, I had a woman sitting in my door. I had to take a shower with the door open. Mm-hmm. And I was like, look, I'm not going to do it again. I promise I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, and be home to my kids. And they were evil to me. They were like, well, if you weren't going to do it, then why would you? You ain't thinking about your child, the birthday or whatever. They were mean. And I was just like,
I think that might have been a scare tactic. Also, you never know what the type of people that's come in all the time. Like, you're the first person they got it. So I feel like they probably doing that to scare you back. I don't do this shit again type thing. Mm-hmm.
I would definitely did. Yeah. But it was a breaking point when I didn't die. When they told me, you were supposed to die. I don't even understand how you still here, but my body was on fire. I have never in my life felt that go from my head to my toes. And it was like that. And they couldn't give me no medicine.
Yeah, so you just have to let it down.
Man, the whole time I was in that hospital, I was like, oh my God,
Right.
this is terrible. That's
Yeah.
how I tell people, don't ever do it. But that was a breaking point for me, letting me know that my work here ain't done. And I still didn't know what my work was until I finally left him when I woke up again in the hospital with a cast on my neck because the tracheals in my neck was swelling to where I was going to die.
As we lead to that, what is his reaction when you tried to commit suicide? He still blaming you. Did he act like he's a little bit remorseful?
He was a little remorseful. He was always remorseful when it was something that could potentially fall back on him. Like when he fractured my eye. And he took me to the hospital and stayed in the car. He was like, just lie to them and tell them. I was like, yeah, I was playing catch with my kids and he hit me with a baseball. And the doctor was like, well, he got a pretty strong arm there. Like, I think they knew.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, so this happened, he's been remorseful. So you're out of the hospital, y'all still in a relationship. So how's it going now? How's it getting towards the point where the second break point with him getting physical with your eye?
So you remember I told you I tried to date someone?
Yeah.
He ran that person off. Well, that person, like about a month later, I was in the bed and I got a phone call, like a FaceTime from someone, and he was laying beside me. I got that FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I picked it up because I didn't know who it was. I was half asleep. Yeah. And I was like, and I really liked this dude, like more than I liked him. Like it was just like, oh snap. He was like, hey, and I was, hey. Like I got up and went to the restroom and he got up out that bed and I thought he was still asleep because I had my phone down. And I was sitting on the toilet and he bust in the bathroom and he took my phone, broke it, and like the kids.
Well, I brought on the phone too. Yeah.
The kids was like, I was gonna get them ready for school, so fast forward, getting them ready for school, we arguing, like he's still trying to become physical, but I'm like, no. So I'm getting the kids and I'm like, get in the car, let's go. I don't even care at this point. And I just throw on some stuff and I'm trying to pull off in my car. And as I'm doing that, he reaches over the seat and he just hits me dead in my eye. Like, I was like, and I didn't know it was fresh. It hurt so bad, but I still tried to go to work and stuff. And when I went to work, they had seen, like I had some glasses on and they called me into the office and they asked me to take off my glasses because I can't be in there with the glasses on. And I was like, I can't. And I was crying because my eye was hurting. I was crying. There was a lot going on.
They seen that tear too and they're like, but it's something.
Yeah. So they made me take off my glasses. I was like, go home.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
It was like, go home. It was like, go home. You can have to take some time off. You can't come back to work like that. So, yeah.
That's embarrassing. But also, you think your job is a little more remorseful. They
was like, go home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that happened. And so how's that dynamic? You go back home.
I went back home. And when he seen, like I walk in the house and he's in there and he seen my eye, he was like, oh my God. And he started crying. And he was holding me. He's like, I'm so sorry. My dumb ass, like, I know. And it just was like shut. And I was like, I gotta go to the hospital. He was like, you do. He was like, but don't tell him what happened. And I was like, okay. So I went to the hospital. And at first they thought I was gonna lose my sight. I was like, oh please.
Right.
Oh God, listen, God done gave me so many signs, okay? I'm almost dying. I'm finna lose my sight. I'm like, please don't let me lose my sight. I didn't lose it.
Okay.
But it's still the fact that, like, I was seeing flood, like, I couldn't see out that eye for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, you like Charleston White.
I did.
That's good.
I can laugh about it now because I'm away from it. I'm healed from it. So it's not that I don't still, it's not funny. I'm going to put that out there. It's not funny. And if you're going through it, it's not going to get better. So I'm gonna put that out there. But but I can laugh from, because it's certain things that I just laugh from. Like even my friends that I don't have a lot of friends, so they've been around for a while and they know what I've been through and they know he's came at them, and we just sit on the phone sometimes be like, man, he was crazy. I'm like, right. Like he used to tell on himself.
He used to go at them too.
Yeah, and he'll tell, I know she telling y'all stuff, and they're like, no, actually she don't talk to us. And then I remember one time I was having game night and my friends were sitting there, and he came in because me and him was together. He was like, I know y'all talking about me. I know she be telling y'all stuff. So my friend, you may know her name Shay. She's like my sister. She said it, but she was like, no, tell us what she be doing. And I was like,
right, put on the spot.
Yeah, they're like, oh, sis, he's doing this. Oh, what else? And I'm just sitting here embarrassed. So it was a lot. But fast forward all that, the night that was my breaking point to get away from him was the night that he almost killed me. He woke up, and I wouldn't give him my phone. I usually gave him my phone, but I had mentally left. I was gone for like a year. And we was going back and forth. And that year, I was fighting him. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm like, you're not gonna keep on doing this. Like, I'm gonna fight you too. So I done gathered up a lot of strength. You could tell like that love was just fading away. And at that time, I was planning on moving to Texas, and I had even taken a trip to Texas. So it was a night, and he just woke up and wanted my phone. I was like, no, I'm tired of you taking my phone. You don't never find nothing. Like, what do you want my phone now? Like, you must have been doing something. Well, if you don't give me your phone, you finna take me to where I want to go. That's fine. Where do you want to go? I'm finna go to this girl. Please pack up your stuff and go. And that's how I talked to him. So he's like, oh, so you serious? Yeah, I'm so serious. Like, you can call her right now. I'm not mad. And he was like, oh, okay. So I'm getting up, and he's like, hurry up. So I'm like, okay, no problem. I don't want no problems. Like, no problem. So I started grabbing my stuff, and I had my gun in my purse. And so I started grabbing my stuff, and I had my phone. So as I'm like bending down, because I'm on the edge of the bed, I'm like this, bending down. All I know is this nigga, boop, and just get on top of me and just was like I'm talking about strangling me. And I'm sitting here like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I was like, I did everything. When I tell you everything that you could hurt a man with, like I'm using my knee, I'm using my hand, I'm doing everything, and it's just, I don't know if he was on drugs, I don't know what it was, but nothing was working, okay? I'm trying to, like, as I'm getting away, like I'm flipping over, I'm trying to use my strength, I'm banging on my wall as much as I can. We on the bed, my bed is against the wall, I'm like banging for my neighbors, like, yo.
The babies there too, right?
They were gone at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and we get in the hallway, and I'm out of breath, and I'm on the ground, and I had my purse. The whole time I'm having my purse, and he's like, put a gun there, I'm finna kill you. He's looking for my gun. And I am like out of it, and I'm just like, only thing I can think about is if he get this gun, he gonna shoot me in my face, and I'm gonna be gone for my kids. I was like, I can't do it. And I just held my purse, and he was trying to snatch it from me, but it like,
all the strength
I had every strength in my body. You is not gonna take this purse. Right, you're not gonna do it. So I'm just sitting there, and I remember him like trying to go down the steps to, and I thought he was like going out the front door. So I'm like, okay, he calmed down. I'm telling you, everything I had in me, I didn't have on no shoes, no socks, no nothing. I don't care. I'm trying to run out the door, and I had to go through my garage, like my kitchen to the patio to the garage to get out. And as I'm like going down, he heard me, and he runs towards me. And in the kitchen, I took a bottle. I'm trying to hit him with it. I'm just trying to get away from him because I don't have enough strength. And he started choking me again. And I'm on the ground, and I'm just like, I'm finna just give up, God. Like, I'm finna just give up because I am tired. And I start fading away, and you can just hear him like talking. Like, you got me messed up, you doing something. And at the time, I wasn't doing nothing. I just didn't want him no more. So I hear him go up the steps, and I'm guessing he thought I was like out of it. So I run out of my patio, and I'm screaming. I'm able to get to my truck, and I just lay on the horn. I lift up my garage door. I'm laying up on the horn because I couldn't find my key, so I'm just laying on the horn. Like, somebody help me. And he come out there, he like, you crazy, what are you doing that for? And I'm like, are you serious? This man is crazy. And he tries to like get, like, the car door is kind of open, so he tried to grab me out again, and I take my door because my hand was right there, and I slam it on him. I didn't do nothing to him. I'm like, God, this man is on drugs. At this time, yeah, he was, I don't know what it was, because I didn't see anything in his eyes at all. So, needless to say, I run out, trying to make this short as quickly. I run out the garage because I guess it did enough for it to kind of hurt him a little bit. So, he goes around to the other side like he's gonna open the door. Dummy. I jump out my truck and just run, and I'm running down, and we in like some townhomes, so I'm just screaming trying to get to my neighbor's door, like to bang on their front door. He tackles me in the grass and tells me I'm having an anxiety attack, and everything in me, I'm just screaming, no, I'm not, help, you're trying to kill me. And he leaves me alone and starts walking back towards my house, and all I know is I ran out. It was raining, and I guess I had collapsed at the end of my street because when I woke up, I was in an ambulance, and it was a police officer, and it was two paramedics, and they were like, is your name India? Your neighbors called us. Is your name India? Your neighbors called us. And they said his name. They was like, is he the one that did it? Mm-hmm. And I was just like, yeah. And I just dazed back out, and I woke up at the hospital, and that's when my brother found out about it. That was the wrong person to find out about it because he was my emergency contact.
Right.
Yeah, he found out about it, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
It was over with.
Yeah.
That was done.
Did the cops get to him for it? Or?
Oh no! Listen, he was on the run. Let me tell Metro Natural Police Department how terrible they are. He was on the run for like almost 2 years. And during that time, for a whole year, this man was like showing up at my house. I would call them. It was an officer. He was tatted up. I remember him because he just always would be the first one on the scene at my house. Because I had an order of protection. I would call them, and I'm like, he's here. It was one time he was there, and he was sitting in the car, and they was like around the corner. So he was banging on my door. He was throwing stuff, and my best friend was there. My best friend is it's a guy, but okay. So, my best friend was like, I don't want her. Like, what? So anyways, we're in there, and he's like saying something, and he's like trying to tell me to open the door. I'm not opening it. So I'm on the phone with the cops like, he's here. Can y'all please come? They was like, oh yeah, we're 5 minutes down the street. And they knew exactly who I was. I didn't have to say nothing. They was like, okay, we on our way. They come. I guess he had walked off. And I'm like, ain't no way he gone that quick. So they tell me to come outside. When I come outside, he's pulling off, and you can just see him creeping past me and the police. And I'm like, that's him. Like, I don't know that car. That's him. He's looking. And the police say something, and all you know is, it was like, he told me it was like 11 cops. They chased him. He done ran into the woods. I can write a whole darn book on this stuff. Y'all in here interested. Right, like, this is crazy. Right. So, they even told me he wrecked some girl car. He came over my house in another female's car, wrecked her car, and ran into the woods, and they could not find him. I said, so y'all had 11 cops.
Thinking Michael Myers.
You know how he got caught? He had he just had a recent child. I think his child is like 1 year old now. It's really cute. And he was driving his baby mama's car from his mom's house, and the police pulled him over.
Just randomly.
Just randomly. I said, so basically that's how he gets caught. Yeah, I didn't catch him every time I called. He just
yeah.
So yeah, that's what.
Wow. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot, man. I mean, I'm glad that you survived that. But I'm sad that me speaking as a man that you had that another man would do that. You had to go through that. There's no way. I can only speak for myself. I can't see how you can crash out like that. You know what I mean? Yes, people are in love with each other. You have feelings, but this ain't it. and that's trauma. But you've gotten past that trauma. You know what I mean? You've overcome a lot of things. Like I said, you're an author. You got your own podcast. Man, you really a rose that came out the concrete. A lot of people gonna watch this and be inspired just knowing that you survived, that you're here.
Yeah.
I just want to say, speaking out for Black men, I'm sorry that you went through that. I don't know, bruh. Never heard of bruh, but that's wild. You know what I mean? And I know your brother was ready to get him go to war like he's supposed to. And I'm proud of you, man. I'm taken back. I'm really taken back.
I was gonna say, I got a question.
Oh yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, like, what version of yourself was going through that experience, and then, like, you know, what version of yourself are you in today?
So the version of myself that was actually going through that particular experience, I would say was, I was very wounded. And I'm gonna say, because we have a lot of different parts of us, but we have three main parts: our inner child, our inner adult, and our adult self. Our adult self is balanced, and then you have the inner child that has two different parts, and the inner adult that has two different parts. And I would say that every part of my wounded inner child and inner adult was a part of that. I can't choose either one of them, because there was points where if he was doing good, he was nurturing parts of my inner child that I wish I had, like my dad and things like that. Or and I had my papa, but still there was things that I wish I had, even down to when he did protect me. When he did protect me, it was like, oh, you know, molested at the age of 7, I wish I had protection. I didn't have it, so that's the inner child part. Today, I am in I call myself a womb man, because the womb is healing. When I say I'm different, I'm very different. So I would say I'm in a very healed version of myself. Healing is telling everybody, everybody in here, healing is a journey. It's not a destination. You're gonna always be healing from something. And there's different levels that you get to yourself. Like, I'm on a journey to my highest self. I'm at a higher point, but I'm on the journey to my highest self. And I know every single level I've had to heal from the same thing, but at a different level. And it's like, how did I get here again? Like, sir, this is the same thing, but it's at a totally different level. But I know how to do it now. I know how to look at myself. I know how to do self-reflection. I know how to take accountability. I know how to look at people in from a healed ear, from healed eyes, from a healed tone, versus listening from a wounded ear, wounded eyes, wounded tone, which a lot of people do that. So today I am the healed woman of India.
And I like that because, you know, I don't know if you know it, I'm sure you do. The word woman comes from that. It's womb. So it's like, that's why. But wow, man, look, it's a great start to 2025 in this podcast journey. I'm grateful to have somebody like Candace who can be able to fill in and ask the right question. I might be lacking on. I love that aspect of it. But look, we gotta have you on again. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Next time, you know, we'd be more, I say, in depth about what you got going on with the podcast. I need to come on your podcast.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to come on.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't shy, you know what I mean?
You know, you're gonna have a deep conversation with me.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Because I got a story.
Oh,
Yeah,
you got a story.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm here for it.
you know, surviving. You know what I mean? Other things. But
Other thing. I can't wait.
man,
He gonna open up a can of worms. Look, Candace like, what he got going on? Yeah.
I don't want to get too spiritual in there. But anyway,
I feel it.
I know, right?
Okay.
Look, man, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I mean, we're gonna do this again. Like the fit. Yeah.
Oh, you know, just a little something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let's stay tuned.